I was wondering, like, what is climate change? You ever wonder why they use these certain words? Because it started out with global warming, and then because people are usually pretty, they don't want to analyze anything. They just want to get on with their day. They don't analyze the word and the words. So global warming. The globe is warming. You say nobody analyzed. People kept hearing global warming. It's like, man, that sounds kind of scary. We gotta stop that. But then when you analyze, like, globe is warming, it's like, oh, that's it. Well, yeah, of course the globe is warming. And then you say, well, how do you stop the globe from warming? Because the only way you can do it is you gotta ultimately get rid of the sun, or you gotta kill some people. And it's kind of funny because people always think that, okay, all we gotta do is get rid of some people. They never think it's gonna be them. A lot of people don't know. Like, a guy made a good point. He was saying that, isn't it funny how the liberals are praising Islam, and then when Islamists come in, they they kill them first. Like, they don't go after they think the Islamists are gonna destroy the West, the Europe or America or Canada or whatever, and then they're gonna kill the right wing people first. No, they're gonna kill the liberal first because that's the weak one. That's the easiest one to get to. It's the oblivious one. The person has forgot about the terrorist attack that happened yesterday. They're going on with their lives. They had a prayer ritual. They hugged everybody, and the next day they're still trying to go to Starbucks like nothing happened. Those are the people that get blown up first. Is the useful idiots, the people that went on with their lives. They didn't change anything. Nothing changed about themselves. They still ignorant. They're still acting like the Muslims are gonna come in and kill the right wing people. No, Muslims ain't gonna kill no right wing people because they know if they attack them, it's over. They're gonna fight back because they got the far right. They're the extreme right. They don't mind killing nobody if they saying I'm defending my country. So of course they ain't gonna kill them. Matter of fact, they probably respect them more than they respect you. Talking about, you're pro Sharia law. Oh my gosh. They know if they got you saying pro Sharia law, that you're a pro Sharia law, they know they got you now. They know that's the easiest one to kill. You always kill the loyal one. The loyal one that has no reason to be loyal. You always kill them first. You know one thing about Stalin? He killed the ones that were loyal for no reason. You usually kill them first. Because if you're able to sway a person that easily, then it ain't that hard for somebody from one of his enemies to sway him. That he knows you're the weakest one. Because if you're easily bought, you sell out that easily. And who's to say one of his enemies won't pay you off to rat him out? So, yeah, that's how they know you're the weakest one. So you're thinking you're doing a good thing by saying that, all we got to do is hug them. We got to understand these evil people. We got to give them a hug. We got to pray for them. Not all Muslims, guys. You think that you're the strong one, but you're actually the weakest one in the group. They will take you out first. Because you got people, I just saw a video, you got people hating a person they don't even know. They'll show up at a protest, don't even know what the protest is. They be like, hey, we're protesting. Don't you know they were protesting Sharia law? They were saying it was bad? No. Wow. You think it's a pro Sharia law protest. Turns out it's an anti Sharia law protest. People will be showing up not knowing anything. But in their mind, they're thinking, well, it doesn't matter if I know the facts or don't know the facts. It's not going to affect my life. So they don't need to know. They feel as though they don't need to know. So when we look at the word climate change, there's two definitions. A lot of people don't know. They think there's only one. But the first definition deals with weather conditions. So climate conditions, I think weather conditions are changing, which could mean anything really. You know, it could mean we had a hurricane 1 month, next month no hurricane. It was hot one day and it was cold the next day. So it happens all the time. You know, there's so many factors. The sun is involved, people involved. So even animals, you know, plants, everything's involved. You know, the world's pretty complex. Um, and there's another definition that people haven't thought of yet. My brother brought it up. It's another type of climate is public opinion, or like or just opinions in general, mood, emotions, stuff like that. Um, and the funny thing is, that's what the globalists are talking about. They're not talking about the weather. They don't care about the weather. A lot of these globalists, elite celebrities, they drive around on jumbo jets, still using gas. They don't care about the weather. They don't care about the climate change. You know, they still live in huge mansions. That J.K. Rowling got like 3 mansions. Ain't none of them got immigrants up in there. Bernie Sanders got 3 summer homes. Bill Clinton, the Clintons, they're totally rich. They're millionaires. Obama got yachts and whatnot. These people don't care about no stupid climate change. It's like, these are your heroes. People have jumbo jets, but here's the funny thing. Most of these leftists know that. Most of these leftists know that Bernie is rich, Clinton is rich, Obama's rich, Bill Gates. They know all these people are rich. They know these people have jumbo jets. They can't be that stupid. The reason why they don't care is because they don't have to care as much either. Every time you keep bringing up other countries, China, India, how come they don't care about climate change? They keep saying, well, you don't really care about them either. I'm like, you don't care either. You know that Leonardo DiCaprio, you know that the people had jumbo jets and big houses. You know that. And you like it that way. You want to be like like I say, what I call a Whole Foods activist. You'll give money to a charity, don't even know where it's going. You don't even care. You don't care where it's going. You don't care who handles the money. You don't even know what the charity is half of the time. All you care about is that you felt good about something. Like, look at me, I care about climate change. And then you move on. You know, you don't have to do anything. I mean, nobody is stopping you from going to Home Depot, buying you a tree, and planting it in your yard. Nobody's stopping you from doing that. Nobody is stopping you from going to China or Africa, going to India or Ethiopia, places where it's all jacked up, pollution's all everywhere. Nobody's stopping you from, protesting the leaders of China to stop, to fight climate change. Nobody's stopping you. But yet you don't do it. Because you just want to be a whole food activist. You just want to yell about some stuff, cuss some people out, call people a bunch of idiots, and go back with your day. Funny thing is, a lot of times, you be seeing these communists, right? These fake communists. They would talk about communism all day, yell about communism all day, and then pull out a cell phone. Like pull out an app, and I don't mean most of the time it's be like an iPhone too. Good when that thing was made in China. Their excuse would be, well, I need it though, or, well, it was made by the labor movement. It was made by the labor union in China, the people. Wait. Do you think that there's a unions in China? But anyway, people have a whole bunch of excuses why they can do stuff. But that's what people like. They like to be able to act like they care and not having to do anything. So here's what the globalists are talking about. They're not talking about weather. They're really just talking about public opinion, people's opinions, the moods. So the environment. So the environment doesn't have to be like the weather, trees, animals, whatever. The environment means just the environment of public opinion, how people are thinking. I see something over there. Anyway, so that's what they're talking about. They're not talking about weather. They're talking about how people are thinking at the moment. Because you have different groups, alt-right and nationalists and KKK and leftists and right-wing and left-wing and libertarians, liberals. They're trying to figure out each group's opinions. They're trying to figure out each group's their leaders, each group's their fashion, each group's what are they trying to sell, each group and what are they trying to buy. And it's trying to figure out each group and trying to figure out what their opinions are, what do they believe, what do they wear, what do they buy, and what do they sell. That's what they're trying to figure out. That's what they're trying to control. Because each group, because think about it, you look at the right-wing people, they wear like American flags, they wear a lot of, they wear red, that's their fashion. And then you look at the Antifa people, they wear like all black, Black Lives Matter, usually all black. You look at some of the leftists, they wear dressed like hippies, bums, something like that. That's their fashion. You look at the feminists, they have like the blue hair or whatever, and then they look all, grungy or crappy looking. That's their fashion. And the funny thing is that each group has their own fashion, what they say. Fascist. Fascist. Each group has their own clothes, the way they speak, their own language, what they say, what they buy, what they sell. Each group. And you can point them out in the crowd. Which one is what? Just by looking at them. Just like looking at their fashion and what they say. You can have a person that say have regular clothes on, and then as soon as they start speaking, you can tell who they are. So that's what it's all about. It's about controlling each group, their opinions, their beliefs, their fashion, what they buy, what they sell. Because that's very important on how you're going to sell something to them. As you got to know who their leaders are. Because you think about, why would Alex Jones be on TV? Why would they care? They only care because, either because he's a threat to them, because they don't know how to get to the youth, or they're trying to figure out who the leaders are of each group. They got to figure out who the leaders are. And most people don't even like Alex Jones because he's a fearmonger. It's kind of crazy. He knows too much. The way I see him is that he just knows too much. And you got Gavin McInnes. He's part of a couple groups, but he don't talk about the Jews that much. I would say he doesn't criticize them. So, and then you have, say, the people who really hate the Jews. They're usually on the alt-right. They would openly say some stuff about some Jews that they don't like. They'll call you a racial slur in a second. So you have that group, and they dress a certain way. They speak a certain way. They're selling something. They're buying something. So that's what the climate is. The climate isn't really weather. No. That's just surface stuff. That's what the normies. That's basically for the idiots. The people who don't look past anything. We say, you need to follow the money. That's the only way you get the truth. You need to follow the money. And if you look at each group, they all got their own opinions, they got their own beliefs, they got their own fashion. They're buying something, selling something. What are the right-wing people usually buying? American flags, stuff like that. Trump hats, helmets now because Antifa be throwing M80s all day, hitting people over the head. So that's their fashion. Their capes and stuff, their American flag capes. So you say, well, who's selling those American flags, right? So whoever's selling American flags is making some money. So whoever's selling Trump hats is making money. Whoever's selling red clothes or whatever is making money. Red ties. So suits. A lot of the alt-right, not alt-right, a lot of the right-wing people might show up with a suit, red tie, something like that, and a Trump hat. So whoever's selling suits. So in Antifa, they wear all black. Why would they wear all black? That's their fashion. And they all got certain opinions. They never change. You know, they're like cults or whatever. And whoever's selling black clothes is making money. So, um, just like, you know, how companies try to figure out how to sell to you by, you know, your purchases, they're doing the same thing. Will was doing the same thing with these opinions, groups, beliefs. They're trying to figure out how to sell you stuff better. They need to find out who your leaders are. They need to find out what your opinions are. They need to find out what your beliefs are. They need to find out what your fashion is. What are you buying? What are you selling? They need to find out all this stuff. And that's what climate change is saying. The climate of opinions is changing. We used to easily pinpoint each opinion, each group, each leader. It was easy. But now, because of the internet, it's hard to keep track of all these opinions. So that's why they got Alex Jones on TV. They'll have Milo on TV because he's a threat, or they're trying to figure out who the leaders are. Milo is one of the leaders of one of the groups, alt-right, I guess, and then Gavin and Alex Jones is another leader of a couple other groups. Because I think they see Alex Jones as kind of like an anti-Semitic. I don't know if he is though. He never really openly said he was against Jews, but he did keep saying globalists a lot. And then there's this group called the White Shoe Boys, and I think it's basically like some Jewish group of bankers or something. But he was always subtle with his anti-Jew stuff. Anyway, so that's what is changing. The climate of opinions, the climate of beliefs. That's what's changing. That's what they're trying to get a hold of. So you think it's about weather. You got people distracted over here about some weather stuff, about something you never can change. You can't change if it's hot or not. You can't change if it's cold or not. You can't change if it's going to rain or not. You can't change if it's not going to rain. If it's going to sun or be cloudy, you can't change that. You can't change the snow. You can't change the hurricane. If the ice caps are melting, you can't do nothing about it. You can't change the stuff. But we can change the climate of opinions, the climate of beliefs, and the climate attitude, the economic environment or climate. The changes in the economic, how we do economics. We can change that. So that climate we can change. People, we can change them. We can change people. They can change them too. They do it pretty easily. So that's what we can change. We can't change no weather. This earth has been here for like billion, trillion years, man. We ain't changing no weather, man. Weather, man. But we can change opinions. Yeah, we can definitely change those. We can change beliefs easily. They do it all the time. So if you see too many people gathering to something, all of a sudden caring about something, you gotta think, you gotta follow the money. Each time words is important too. You gotta figure out what these words mean, because that's gonna be very important. You know, when we want to figure out what they're actually doing. Climate means opinions, and you can change them. All right. And the new one is Sharia law. Why would they bring that in? I don't know. That'll be for the next video. But yeah, so what do you think? Do you think climate change? Do you think they're talking about weather? Or do you think they're talking about personal opinion, public opinion? It's pretty obvious they're talking about opinions here, opinions and beliefs. But hey, you can keep caring about the weather or whatever. That's cool. You ain't gonna change it. But hey, you can distract yourself by some weather, thinking you're gonna change it with some money. um, to the 3 billion people who live off less than $2 a day, do they care about climate change or not? Good luck with. I think we need to work on trying to feed these people and not getting them schooling them on climate change all day. You take an hour trying to school a person that's living in a hut about some climate change, you could have gave him some food by now. Anyway, what do you think? Is climate change about weather? Do you think it's about opinions? I think it's about opinions, but hey, if you think it's still about weather, good luck on that. All right, peace out.